All right, we're live. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the New Hampshire Aerospace and Defense Export Consortium's Lunchtime Connections presentation. Today is December 20th, and we have with us today TRM Microwave, the Southwest Research Institute, and Transupport. I wanted to introduce myself so that you all know the voice behind everything. My name is Stephanie McLaughlin, and I am the principal of Savoir-Faire Marketing Communications, also a NHADEC member, a member of the board of directors, and a member of the marketing committee. Today's the Lunchtime Connections format is going to be presentations from each of the member organizations up to about 8 minutes long, including a Q&A after the presentations. You can, during the question and answer period, either raise your hand in the webinar software, and I will unmute you, or you can type a question into the chat panel, and we can, and I'll be happy to ask the presenters. If anybody has any questions on the format, well, I'm happy to take them now. And if not, then we can jump into our first presentation. Our next presenter today is the Southwest Research Institute, and for that I'm going to hand it over to Steve Myers.
Thank you, Stephanie. Good afternoon. My name is Steve Myers, and I'm a program manager in research and development within the Southwest Research Institute Earth, Oceans, and Space Department here in Durham, New Hampshire. I'd like to take this opportunity to introduce you to a summary of the technologies and capabilities of Southwest Research Institute, or as we affectionately call ourselves, SWRI or SWRI. The graphic on our opening slide shows 4 magnetospheric multiscale, or MMS, spacecraft stacked and preparing for final shroud encapsulation, the nose cone, just prior to being placed on top of an Atlas V launch vehicle. This NASA mission was launched in March of 2015. Placed in a tetrahedral formation. The spacing between the 4 spacecraft is now 20 kilometers and has been operating successfully since our launch date. The 4 spacecraft contain a total of 104 science instruments that measure the interaction of the Earth's magnetic field with the solar wind. Nearly half of all the science instruments were designed, built, and tested here in Durham, New Hampshire, along with our 3 U.S. partners and 3 European partners. We are currently planning operations through August of 2020 and expect the mission to operate well beyond that date. The science payload is now being managed out of my office. Next slide, please. Southwest was founded in 1947, providing contract research and development services to industry and government clients, both domestic and global. Southwest currently has a staff of over 2,700 employees and has 9 technical divisions, covering deep space to deep ocean and everything in between. Our corporate office is located in San Antonio, Texas on 1,200 acres, and here you see a photograph of our campus. Southwest has 9 remote technical offices and laboratories located in the U.S. and China, with our office located in Durham, New Hampshire on the UNH campus. More information on Southwest can be found at www.swri.org. Next slide, please. These next 2 slides show the technical divisions as well as a summary of the technologies located within each division. Shown here are the applied physics, chemistry and chemical engineering, powertrain engineering, fuels and lubricants technology, intelligent systems divisions, and their technologies. Next slide, please. Shown here are the mechanical engineering and the defense and intelligence divisions and their technologies, as well as the space science and engineering division, which is where our department resides, Earth, Oceans, and Space. Next slide, please. The Earth, Oceans, and Space Department was established in 2013. Prior to establishing this department, we were all UNH staff members. We are co-located within the UNH Institute for the Study of Earth, Oceans, and Space. We share offices and laboratories with the UNH Space Science Center, including a machine shop, electronics shop, polymerics lab, clean rooms, thermal chambers, thermal vacuum chamber, and an EMI/EMC chamber. Here you see a photo of our building, Morse Hall, on the campus of UNH. Our department staff has over 100 years of spaceflight and suborbital experience in heliophysics, astrophysics, and earth science. More detailed information about our department can be found at newhampshire.swri.org. Currently, Southwest EOS maintains capabilities in project management, project support, and support in digital, analog, and software engineering. When resource shortfalls arrive, we are able to draw on the extensive expertise from our San Antonio and Boulder offices. We can also draw on the engineering and science resources here at UNH. Next slide, please. In closing, why Southwest? Southwest is a nonprofit with our research and development in the public interest, no stakeholders. Southwest is independent with no compromising affiliations. Southwest offers a broad range of technical expertise. Southwest staff is top-notch with over 1,500 degrees from 500 universities worldwide. We have state-of-the-art equipment and facilities with 2 million square feet of labs and offices on a 1,200-acre campus in San Antonio. Southwest Technologies can solve your problems with Southwest-funded research often applied to client projects. Southwest has a liberal patent policy where in most cases inventions are licensed or assigned to the client. And diverse research is a DNA of Southwest. Founded by Oilman and philanthropist Tom Slick Jr., the spirit of innovation is alive and well at Southwest. Southwest can serve as a gateway to the various Southwest resources. Thank you for your time. Are there any questions?
That was great, Steve. Thanks so much. I'm curious to know, looking at all your locations, sort of mostly in the Midwest and certainly far afield in China, I was curious, why would Southwest decide to start a department on the UNH campus?
Thank you. That's a good question, Stephanie. UNH and Southwest have been working together for decades on multiple NASA missions. The strength of our Southwest Division, Space Science and Engineering, has been in heliophysics. That's where the MMS mission resides, with a desire to extend our science more into earth science and astrophysics. The benefit to Southwest is that UNH brings us the additional science expertise in these areas through UNH faculty and researchers. And the benefit to UNH is that Southwest brings a strong infrastructure to allow UNH to bid on these large NASA missions. We're bringing earned value, QA, reporting. To date, there remains a strong synergy between UNH and Southwest.
That's wonderful to hear. It was before I met you. It was something I was not aware was on campus here at right here in New Hampshire at UNH. So that's really a fantastic, really interesting stuff you guys are doing.
Thank you, Stephanie.
Great. Does anybody else have questions for Steve? Actually, Steve, one came in through the chat panel. What specific testing assets do you have at UNH?
At UNH for testing, we have a thermal vacuum chamber, which we use to replicate the space environment. We have an EMI EMC chamber. We have 10E chamber thermal chambers at ambient pressure. We have a light calibration lab. We have a neutron detector lab. There's quite a few test facilities here within our building in Morse Hall.
That's fantastic. Wonderful.
Yeah, for a state university, we are very diverse here. A lot of people, when they come to see us, are incredibly impressed with the assets that this building can offer.
Oh, that's not a surprise. It sounds quite impressive. Thanks, Steve, for joining us today. I really appreciate you being here.